Hey guys, it's Elizabeth from the Missionaries of God's Love in Tustin, California, and today we're going to talk about, do we live in a selfish society? Before we dive into this topic, I invite you to find a quiet place to sit. Straighten your back, relax your shoulders, relax your neck, and take a deep breath in. Invite the Holy Spirit to come to you. Come, Holy Spirit, and please descend your Spirit upon us, even if we do not deserve you, but we need you. Please guide us in our life and show us how we can grow closer to you, how we can love you more. And please open our minds so that we can grow and be better human beings with your help, God. Thank you, Lord. The American society has lost its values. In the course, How to Educate Our Children, we will be talking about values, ideals, and identity. For example, as a family, we should ask ourselves, what is our identity? Who are we? What are our goals? We recommend that families identify themselves by their last name or however they want. For example, you could tell your kids, we are the Gonzalez family, and tell them that multiple times. Or we can say that we're the Hernandez family, we're the Ramirez family, and so on. Identify yourselves and tell that to your kids frequently. Because can you believe that some children are embarrassed about their families? There are literally children who think like that because they were never taught to be proud of being a part of their family. They were never taught to identify with their family. One reason why children go to gangs or hang out in those bad environments is because they're looking for a family that they do not find in their homes. They desperately look for a place to belong. Because for some reason, they don't feel a part of their family. Teenagers fall into victim of this. Because as teenagers, they're undergoing through a lot of changes. Physically, hormonally, but also along with that, they're exploring to find out who they are. They want to know what is their identity. And they have the herd instinct, where they want to be a part of a bigger group. But if they do not find their family at home, then they look for it somewhere else. And who offers them a family? Gangs. They tell them, you're a part of us now. But unfortunately, they offer them a bad family that leads them into a lot of trouble. Or they become a part of a friend group. In middle school and high school, people hang out with their group of friends, and that's it. Their whole world is their close circle. And those are the people whom teenagers trust and listen to. They desperately look for a family. And sadly, many teenagers don't find it in their home. And that's because we have fallen into a fast-paced life. Families don't have time to stop and reflect on what is going on. There are parents who don't even talk to each other. They don't know what direction they're going to as a couple, nor as a family. They don't have clear goals for their family. In this course, we will be given tips and tools on how to raise a family. So please, use all the tips you need and apply them to your family. We genuinely want to see more united and happy families. With that, forget about the past. Maybe some say that I'm divorced and I live with my children. I'm a single mother. Well, there has to be a family there. Others say we are 4 single people who are cousins or siblings who live together. There has to be a family there too. If they're friends, if they're acquaintances, or whoever they are, they should be a family, especially if they live together. No one should live alone, and by that I mean isolated. We have to be united families with the people we have in our lives, with your husband first of all, with your wife first of all, and if you don't have that, then with your children. And if you don't have children, then with your siblings, friends, parents, or whoever you live with. We have to be united families. Because God is a family, and He created us to live together as a family. And if someone doesn't understand that, then they don't know who God is. I told you in a previous recording that there are 3 sins our society lives by. And they are selfishness, individualism, and materialism. Those are the 3 deadly sins that are destroying families. And that makes it so impossible for parents to educate their children. And we can add one more, which is hedonism. And this is when people just look for pleasure. They literally look for what causes them to have pleasure. But let us return back to the first 3. We will first uncover selfishness. And this is when people just care about me, me, me. Unfortunately, many couples fall into this. They get married selfishly. And that's why more than half of them fail. The main cause is selfishness. And we could break this down even more. Lack of commitment, lack of effort, lack of desire to overcome problems. There are many couples who, as soon as they start to see problems, they say, "We're going to get divorced." Couples no longer know how to overcome problems, nor are they willing to overcome them. Unfortunately, people marry with the idea that everything will be beautiful, sunny, and filled with roses in their marriage. But I hate to break it to you, that's not true. And most young couples think that they're ready to get married, and they think that everything will be easy. But in reality, they're sometimes the least prepared people. Because couples don't even talk about raising their children before getting married, which they should. They should talk about how many children are they going to have? How are they going to educate them? And what are the values that they're going to teach them? People get married, and after 5 years of marriage, they already have kids, and this is when they start to talk about their children's education. They begin to find out how to educate them, or they just start making mistakes along the way. Before, society was more integrated, more united. And by this I'm referring to the smaller towns. The famous industrial era of the last century destroyed many things and began to create larger cities and societies. And now with social media, we've basically become a global society, because now we know what's going on in China, we know what's going on in India, we know what's going on in Africa, and we know what is going on in Europe. But before the present time, There used to be small classrooms in school. Now, the classrooms are filled with many students. In small towns, people used to know each other. But now, people live alone, far away from their loved ones. They know someone new every month. And people now frequently change their jobs as if they changed their wardrobe. People don't support each other anymore. People just live their individual life. But less and less people have time to interact with each other and to have deep conversations and to help each other. The first sin that we have uncovered is selfishness. We could talk more about this later. But if the couple does not come with the elements of authentic love, and I don't mean that they have to be experts, but that they have a certain maturity to get married and to have a family seriously, if they don't have those elements, then there are going to be very serious problems. Not only between the couple, but also in the education of the children. I invite you to continue meditating on this topic and tell God, "Speak to me, O Lord, for your servant is listening."